Well, um, I was here putting together fly boxes for our school next spring. It's the Michigan Trout Unlimited Fly Fishing School, and sorry about the lighting and everything. Um, and as you can see, I've got a few boxes here that I'm putting together, and I thought this would be a good opportunity to talk about what's important in a beginner's, let's say you're just starting in fly fishing, and we have many of our students are just starting out, and we put together some, like a kit of flies for them. And I just want to show you what I think is important, and what our school thinks is important for a. This is literally first time with a rod in the hand kind of. We want to send them off with some tools. We also give them hemostats and a bunch of other equipment stuff. But this is the basic fly box, what you might need. And by the end of this, you should be able to see where you should start. Okay, not this isn't the definitive box. It's not for Western fly fishing. It's not for saltwater. This is kind of Midwest trout fishing. Our school is held on the Boardman River in Michigan. It's a very small, mostly brook trout, but brown trout in there also. It's naturally reproducing. It's just an absolutely stunning river. But these are the basic flies that will get you out on the water without a whole lot of effort. So I'm going to kind of hold it up, and then I'm going to hold up each thing. So this is the box we give them. It's a little box. It's got our Trout Unlimited logo, or our school logo on there. And let's just start with some basic stuff. One of the first flies we give them is I don't know what size this is. I think it's okay, anyway, it doesn't matter. It's about it's a woolly, weighted bead head black woolly bugger. This thing will catch fish, all kinds of fish. It looks kind of crazy, but in the water, it looks like a fish swimming through the water. This is a streamer, and it's just the all-purpose fly. See, it kind of does that. It's the all-purpose fly for fishing. So, when all else fails, the old woolly bugger is the one that comes through. Black or olive is a good one. I think these are I don't know what they are. They're about number 3 hooks or something like that. When we go to dry flies, a very important fly, and was actually developed on the Boardman River, was the Adams fly. This is called a parachute Adams, and it's a simple dry fly. It doesn't imitate anything, but it imitates all things. So again, this is one of those flies that when you're in doubt, it just sort of works. And I know fishermen that just have only Adams flies, but in every size. It's kind of wild. I think this is a 12 size Adams, and you'd goop it up with you put this floatant on it, and I'm going to have a whole show about floatant at some point. But you goop it up, and it floats, and you dead drift it, and it catches fish. Very, very good fly. The next fly that's super important, another dry fly, is the elk hair caddis. And that's a kind of an image of it. I'm sorry these aren't focusing that well, but that's what I have to deal with. Let me see if I can do it this way. It's a very simple fly. You can look it up. You go to a fly shop. These are the ones to order. This is, I think, again, a number 12. And there's always a caddis hatch on a stream. Another good reason why beginners do well with caddis flies is an Adams fly needs to have a dead drift, and that takes a certain amount of practice to get a good dead drift. A caddis, on the other hand, on the water kind of moves around a little bit, so a little bit of jiggling and moving and not doing a good dead drift actually works to your benefit with a caddis. So that's your standard caddis fly. Then we have a couple nymphs here. couple classics, and we give each student two flies for the weekend. But we always have a few extra if they actually run out. A lot of these will end up in trees on the Boardman River. So if you come on after the second weekend in June and you look up in the trees in the Boardman River, you probably get a lot of flies. This is a nymph, which means it's underwater, and it's a beadhead hare's ear nymph. Okay, and the term hare's ear. A hare is a rabbit, and an ear is an ear, and it's using the hair from the ear of the rabbit, and also the face of a rabbit, the mask of a rabbit. You'll hear some people say, "Oh, it's from a hare's mask." You go, "What's a mask?" And it's bunny face. So that's a hare's ear thing, and this is where you toss it, and you want this to be sort of just above the bottom of the stream. So it's basically imitating a nymph that has fallen off of a rock, has been dislodged, and is floating down the stream. Okay, it's again one of those. Every fly box needs to have a bunch of these in a bunch of different sizes. And again, it really doesn't imitate anything exactly, but it imitates lots of things closely. Another fly that we give them, and this is just a classic of classics, is a pheasant tail. And there's the pheasant tail. Again, I'm sorry, again on the focus. Oh, and I lost it. I lost the pheasant tail. Okay, I'll find it. I'll pull out another one. It's in one of these other boxes. Now I'm gonna have to find it. But it's a pheasant tail. It's got a bead head. I particularly like bead head ones because they do get down deeper, and the particular river we're on is actually a fairly fast moving river. So to get the fly down deep enough, it needs to be a little bit weighted. So these beadhead nymphs work really well. But the pheasant tail is made from, guess what? It's made from a pheasant tail. It's brown, and it's got a couple little wings and some copper wire on it. Again, very, very effective. This fly has been around for, it's got to be at least 100 years or so, a couple hundred years maybe. It's probably the first fly ever done. And then finally, one specific for the time of year and the place we're at is the second week in June in northern Michigan. We have what's called a sulfur hatch, and it's a type of mayfly, but it's a yellow mayfly. And these have all kinds of names, they're called sulfurs. They're all different shapes. They're called yellow sallies, and it's a yellow fly. And the fish are keyed on to these yellow flies. It's basically like a yellow Adams. And the fish are keyed on at this time of year for that kind of a thing. So this is more specific for where we are. But in general, if you're a new fly fisherman, you can go to a fly shop, or if you're not near a fly shop, you can go to Cabela's or something like that, and they'll have often a box of basic beginner flies. But as long as you have a number of sizes of woolly bugger, and brown, this color, black is good, and kind of olive is real good. And again, the bead head is really good and to use, but black and olive are good. A number of different sizes. The Adams fly, get that, and again a few sizes, small, like 12, 14. That sort of size. A caddis dry fly, a hare's ear nymph dry fly. There's the hare's ear nymph again. I'll put up maybe a graphic on these, and a pheasant tail. And then we pack these up. Each student gets one of these. You can see it's quite a job to do this. Each student gets one of these, and They get a pair of hemostats and nippers and a few other little doodads, zinger, and they're ready to go fishing. And this'll do it. This'll be a couple good days of fishing easily with these flies. So since I had all this stuff out, I thought I'd make a little video about it. You can see how kind of crazy, but when I buy flies, I buy them by tens of dozens. So and there's lots of places to do that. They're made in all different places, so you'll have to check for yourself. Okay, thanks a lot for watching. We'll try to get back with you with another kind of interesting thing.